A new Prime Minister.
I, Andrew Michael Holness.
A call to action.
We must create a Jamaica where there is hope and opportunity.
And something to smile about. You'll get to rewatch that performance and hear more from Prime Minister Andrew Holness as he called for a partnership to build a prosperous Jamaica. But that's not all. Today, it's a double celebration. It's Jamaica Day in schools all across the island. Another must-watch edition of Jamaica Magazine is unfolding. I'm Audrey Williams. Welcome. Let's get the ball rolling.
Let us stop for a minute, count our blessings one by one.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica. Original.
Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your JIS News for Friday, March 4. Newly installed Prime Minister Andrew Holness has committed to pursuing partnerships as a pathway to inclusive growth and development on the island. Mr. Holness says he will be engaging the parliamentary opposition, the private sector, international community and ordinary Jamaicans in this effort.
I will ensure that government is coordinated and strategically directed, that decisions are taken quickly, that targets are set and met, and that the nation is informed, and that everyone under my appointment is held to account for their actions or lack thereof.
Mr. Holness was speaking on Thursday as he was installed for the second time as Jamaica's Prime Minister. Meanwhile, in his inauguration address, Prime Minister Holness also pledged to carry out key commitments made to Jamaicans, among them focusing resources to support families by increasing the income tax threshold.
Our government will ease your tax burden, but you must invest and spend wisely. Use the additional money to acquire a house for your family or improve the one you already have, or buy Jamaican goods.
He also committed his government to continuing key social protection programs such as tuition-free education and no user fee access to health care.
However, we will encourage you and enable you to save in a bond for your children's education and in a national health insurance scheme for your health care.
And the Prime Minister pledged to give voice to all Jamaicans in matters of national importance.
We will give form to that voice in a referendum to decide on the constitutional matters and social matters.
And Prime Minister Andrew Holness has hit the ground running. Mr. Holness took up office at Jamaica House early Friday morning. As he began duties on the first day in office, the new Prime Minister spent some time to peruse a report from the National Water Commission. He said his government was serious about providing water to the people. In the meantime, the United States, through its ambassador Louis Moreno, has congratulated Mr. Holness on his electoral victory and inauguration as Jamaica's new Prime Minister. In a statement yesterday, Ambassador Moreno said the U.S. looked forward to working with the new Prime Minister on bilateral, regional and global issues. He made the point that the American and Jamaican people share strong bonds of friendship and commended Jamaica for its dedication to democracy as demonstrated in the free, fair and calm general elections on February 25. Ambassador Moreno also affirmed America's commitment to enabling broad-based economic prosperity through growth in the bilateral trade relationship and U.S. direct investment in Jamaica. In other news, Jamaica's economic outlook for the current quarter of January to March 2016 is positive. That's according to the Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ. Director General Colin Bullock says the short-term prospects for the economy remain positive based on the continued strengthening of the performance of most industries as well as the continued implementation of strategic investment projects.
We note that the economy has continued its slow but encouraging recovery with growth in both the goods producing and services industry and with increasing employment.
Mr. Bullock was speaking at the PIOJ's quarterly economic press briefing on Thursday. He said real gross domestic product for the period was estimated to grow within the range of 0.5 to 1.5%. The PIOJ is also predicting GDP growth in this range for the entire 2015-2016 fiscal year ending March 31.
Growth will be strengthened and sustained if we focus not only on the concrete and steel mega projects and the business environment, but also on societal security.
For January 2016, inflation of minus 0.4% was recorded. And finally, the Jamaica Tourist Board JTB has hailed the Norman Manley International Airport NMIA for being named the most improved airport in Latin America and the Caribbean. The rating comes from the Airports Council International ACI. NMIA received the honor in the ACI's 2015 Airport Service Quality ASQ Awards, which was announced on February 29. Known as the world's premier passenger benchmarking program for airports, the ASQ delivered over 550,000 in-depth passenger surveys at over 300 airports across more than 80 countries in 2015. JTB's Marketing and Communication Manager Essie Gardner says the award shows continued improvements that are having a positive impact on airport users. And JTB's Director of Tourism, Paul Pennycook, adds that a nation's airport is essential to the overall development of the economy. He says a world-class facility will attract an influx of leisure, business and domestic travelers, which will benefit a number of sectors. And that's it for GIS News today. Amandra Chisholm, thank you for watching.
Stand up and get in the race.
I can become the master of my destiny.
Step up your stride, make we work like a harder. Do it like Veronica, Bolt and a Sapa.
We can rise above the challenges and shine.
Was with passion in your heart. Make a plan and stop all the idling. You think I saw? We reach our aging. I can, you can. Like our Olympians, every Jamaican can.
To achieve the vision of shared prosperity through inclusive economic growth and meaningful job creation, now more than ever, government must lead, activate, empower, and build real partnerships. Here's how the partnership with families will work. Our government will ease your tax burden, but you must invest and spend wisely. Use the additional money to acquire a house for your family or improve the one you already have. Or buy Jamaican goods. This is how we will increase local demand in housing, manufacturing, and agriculture. This is how you can play a part in creating jobs while satisfying your well-being. Our government commits to creating the environment in which families can flourish and form communities of social mobility, from which every ghetto youth can be a star. We cannot be satisfied with things as they are. My dream is to fulfill your dream. We must create a Jamaica where there is hope and opportunity. All of this is possible. We must start now. Time for partnership. Time for action.
My dream, my dream, my dream, my dream, my dream. Tell you my dream is to live my dream. Hear the most sign and me sleep when me same. Tell you my goal, my goal, my goal. All of my goal is to reach my goal. Live a happy life, put it on me headstone. Nobody no fi cry over me dead. Look at me now, when them treat me less than good. Put me in a box like a rectangle. Oh oh, look at me now. Look at me now. Oh, look at me now. And me just tell you my life. When them used to go round me, go round. No one used to come round me. My life was so lonely. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. I take plane like JUTC. When you see me, it's on TV. Shows after shows after shows after shows. Tours after tours after tours after tours. When me name call, it's like roars after roars. Sweet melody and chorus after chorus. The black one door, me bust doors after doors after doors after doors after doors after doors. Look at me now, where them treat me less than gold. Put me in a box like a rectangle. Oh, oh, look at me now, look at me now.
Let's celebrate Jamaica to the world. Fastest man in the world. First Jamaican woman to win gold in Olympic 100-meter sprint. An upcoming global superstar. Mouth-watering meals. And a vibrant set of people. We are Jamaicans. Let's get together and bring back the love.
Black, green, gold. Those colors were proudly on display today as students got a chance to learn more about their history, heritage and culture. From all indications, Jamaica Day sell off. Cue the celebrations.
Seasoned rice, vegetable rundown, banana cake, cornmeal pudding, drops and gizzards.
And which one of them is your favorite?
Drops.
It helps you to remember back on the history so that you may celebrate and be respectful and appreciative of what happened in the past.
A display of black, green and gold. Smiling faces all around. Vibrant performances and all things Jamaican on display. This is how students across the island celebrate Jamaica Day in schools each year.
As a country, we are continuing to move in the right direction in ensuring that our culture, through Jamaica Day, remains one of the flagships of the Ministry of Education and by extension the rest of the country.
Jamaica Day is part of the Culture in Education program, which is run by the Ministry of Education. It dates its first observance in schools to the year 2001. The aim?
Jamaica Day is an annual event designed to contribute to citizenship education and to enhance the appreciation for Jamaica's rich heritage and culture, which builds positive identity in our students and, by extension, our nation.
It includes stories about the tenacity of our ancestors, our heroes, those who fought and triumphed in the face of great adversity, those who have imparted in us that indomitable spirit and will to be great in everything we touch, whether it be sport, music, academia, the arts, or any other pursuit.
The theme for Jamaica Day each year starts with the phrase, celebrating Jamaica.
Yes, celebrating what makes us unique as Jamaicans, what makes us stand out, what makes everyone else around the world have to agree that we liquor, but with talawa.
We are reinforcing the fact that Jamaica is more than just a one-day public showing. It is more than just a grand concert. This year, our theme is celebrating Jamaica, promoting the arts. When we hear of the arts, we think of dance, drama, music, drawing, painting, the visual and performing arts. This year, we have asked our schools not to limit themselves to these areas, but to also focus generally on the cultural and creative industries.
As the motto said, out of many one people.
Got animation skills? Then come on out to Kingston 2016 and show off your talent. It's March 12 and 13 at the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts. There will be amazing prizes, a film festival, animation competitions, seminars, and pitch competitions. Come and learn from the best local and international animation experts and engage investors in speed meetings. Kingston 2016, March 12 and 13. Put on by the Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining. Key partners include the World Bank, Caribbean Development Bank, Jampro, Toon Boom, TV Paint Development, Wacom, Eziram, the Jamaica Information Service, and Endemande College of the Visual and Performing Arts.
We move from one cultural issue to another, our heritage sites. We take a trip down memory lane with a castle trail journey.
This is Taina country.
This is Rasta country.
This is Aki country.
Jerk country.
Wood country.
Water country.
This is diverse country, a place where four cultures and some met and melded, concocting a never-ending potpourri of adventures.
Here's the story of the British five-star Army General.
For uprooting the lands formerly known as Jamaica from under the Spanish, Major Generals of the British Army that invaded Jamaica in 1655 were presented with hefty land parcels as reward. The vast acreage doled out to one Colonel John Colbeck, who, after the heist, retired to a placid life as House Speaker, is situated just outside Old Harbour in St. Catherine.
He was granted over 1,000 acres here.
The memory of many of the army men who got lands as laurels lives on through their names, which are today mostly attached to a mere morsel of the original lot. But in the case of Colonel John Colbeck, well, his name perseveres in that and more. Amidst the 1,000-acre expanse he received, he built this.
Well, it's big, and it's really big. It's a bit interesting, on how they built the stuff. Yeah, it's big.
Or did he really?
There's question about when it was built and who actually built it. But some people say it might have been built in the late 17th century, which might have made him the builder.
Another sketchy bit of architectural record suggests it's of early 18th century Georgian mold. And if that indeed were the case, then, well, John Colbeck would have long been resting in his tunnel crypt, a 2-mile-long passageway where not only his body, but all his gold is rumored to have been interred. Colbeck Castle was evidently once the center of thriving plantation life in that section of the parish. The property boasts a number of distinct relics from that era, but some visitors to Colonel Colbeck's castle today say the retentions are just a bit too real for them.
It reminded me of what my ancestors must have gone through to build that. Some of them would have died. I just feared this morning I was walking on their blood.
However, there are many today who regard Colbeck's castle and plantation beyond its historic daily grind. The structure, they reckon, has refused to allow time to belie its grandeur.
You get that space of ballrooms, of a whole different kind of lifestyle.
I just thought of the food layout in there, you know, a lot of pork and a lot of chicken and a lot of goat, and I just thought of, you know, big parties.
Wow, I just like to live there. I think it's an incredible site. If you notice, we had that beautiful breeze up there. Yeah man, I'd live there.
If the facade still allowed, one could enjoy an expansive view of Old Harbour Bay, 4 miles away from the castle's second floor. Its height, it said, was an armament against sea-based ambush from English enemies. Unlucky were the Spaniards not to have discovered and built their own fort at Colbeck first. Don't you think?
Our next character? Well, his is the story of the island's first recorded serial killer.
It was a bit steep to go up. It's a bit steep.
A space like this is on top of a hill. Coming up here is a semi-adventure. Clambering over the rocks, it allows the entire thing to breathe.
Don't hold your breath. For it's alleged that the infamous owner of what was once this charming 18th century hilltop castle, Louis Hutchinson, was the author of no less than 40 missing persons reports in St. Pedro District, St. Anne, in the 1760s. No, not at all. For what Hutchinson did was certainly not in keeping with the neighborly edicts that governed the era. Travelers were to be fed, watered, and offered a night's lodging, at least. But Hutchinson gave his house guests more than they could have seen coming.
He entertained people at his home, he fed them, they drank, and when they left,
what he did.
We're sitting up there and you can see right down the road, down that mile.
There are holes with a line of sight leading directly for the road.
And you can see exactly how I'd be looking out the turret, taking a bead on some unsuspecting guy on his horse.
peep through the hole, fire at them with his gun,
and shooting him.
He killed them.
What was it, 42 people he killed that we know of?
They found 43 watches here, and that's the persons he had killed. What a very sad story.
I get shivers. I just cannot imagine, you know, what went on up there. I have heard the stories, but I just cannot imagine that somebody could really sit down and orchestrate such things. So I am kind of, you know, woozy when I visit there.
Louis Hutchinson would commit the crime 2 more times on his way to the scaffold, once in a feud over Edinburgh's boundary lines. It would appear Louis himself lived his life on the edge. It's reckoned he was a nutcase, haunted by ghosts from a tumultuous childhood. Since Hutchinson's ghastly acts, Edinburgh Castle has fashionably caved in on itself, but sparing its eerie windows and a sinkhole which is believed to hold the madman's victims.
This is here to remind us, anytime we pass here, that if we can't do anything good in this world, we shouldn't do anything bad.
And to close our chronicles, the story of the returning resident seeking a post-retirement investment.
There was this hill on that view, breathtaking view, isn't it, of our country? And I could see those laborers there picking the pimento.
Jennifer Carr is an unlikely queen of the hill. She's mistress of a 270-year-old pimento plantation in Lime Hall, St. Anne.
Can you imagine that if I did not bought this property, they would not be able to come beyond the gate.
Jennifer's perfect retirement gift to herself, she says, was her own little piece of the rock, preferably someplace unique, and the Liberty Hill Great House was the package she picked.
Most of the great houses are not living, working great houses. They're just a tour, and here people can stay here.
Liberty Hill was built in 1740 as a pimento estate. Though the dark berry-like spice is picked here seasonally, Jennifer has found new use for the plantation.
Our mission here is health and wellness. So when you come, you're coming for to refresh and rejuvenate.
As you might have guessed, until the plantation changed hands and ended up in Jennifer's, white mistresses and masters ruled this roost exclusively.
I'm the first black that owns it. Majority of the people in the community did not know this place exists up here because they were not allowed to come through the gate.
She's a woman who obviously loves the property. It's a beautiful property. She's put a lot of passion into it. It's got great history there.
I think the lady must be commended. I have never seen anything like that. I would love to stay there.
Looking after Liberty Hill is far more than just keeping up appearances. Jennifer Carr, the first black owner, is now trustee of a declared national monument. Its peripheral ruins and the first Taino site, which was in fact excavated on the estate in 1912.
Perhaps Jennifer Carr could have rediscovered Colbeck or Edinburgh's usefulness, but she happened upon Liberty Hill instead. Each is an equally portioned ingredient of a delectable potpourri that makes us and them uniquely Jamaican. Colbeck, Edinburgh and Liberty Hill, along with 28 other monuments and sites, are operated as attractions by the Jamaica National Heritage Trust. They're all yours. Some sites have tour guides on location to relay their history, but feel free to conceive your own version.
This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them. A message from the Ministry of Health.
Wet hands with water. Apply enough soap to cover all hand surfaces. Rub hands palm to palm. Right palm over left dorsum with interlaced fingers and vice versa. Palm to palm with fingers interlaced. Backs of fingers to opposing palms with fingers interlocked. Rotational rubbing of left thumb clasped in right palm and vice versa. Rotational rubbing backwards and forwards with clasped fingers of right hand in left palm and vice versa. Rinse hands with water. Dry hands thoroughly with a single-use towel. Use towel to turn off faucet. Your hands are now safe.
And that's where we have to leave you for this Friday. Thanks so much for joining us. Check out additional programs on our YouTube channel, Watch JIS. You can also keep up to date with the latest info via our website or on social media. I'm Audrey Williams, and this has been Jamaica Magazine. Have yourselves a great weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.